This is Akashvani Chennai. We bring to you a literary talk on the overarching themes across the novels of Kamala Markandaya. The talk is presented by Ms.R.KAMALA, Assistant Professor of English, Alpha Arts and Science, Chennai.
Hello everyone. Engaging with literary talks fosters empathy, critical thinking, and deeper comprehension. It also encourages meaningful discussion, reflection, and connection to diverse perspectives, key elements in developing lifelong learning habits. Listening to literary talks will enhance your knowledge about the various cultures, traditions, and moral values of the people living in different parts of the world. In short, literary talks are not just passive entertainment. They are powerful tools for mental growth, emotional insight, and intellectual enrichment. Today, the topic you are going to listen is overarching themes across the novels of Kamala Markandaya. Kamala Markandaya was a significant British Indian novelist born in Mysore, India, known for exploring themes of East-West cultural conflict, tradition versus modernity, poverty, and post-colonial identity in her novels. Her literary career spanned over 3 decades, with notable novels including Some Inner Fury, A Silence of Desire, Possession, A Handful of Rice, The Coffer Dams, The Nowhere Man, and Two Virgins. After studying history at Madras University and working as a journalist, she moved to Britain in 1948, married an Englishman, and became a prominent voice in Indian literature for Western audiences, portraying the struggles of Indians grappling with changing values. Kamala Markandaya is undoubtedly a shining star among the small galaxy of Indian women writers who commands respect not only for her craftsmanship but also for the way she conveys the message in a natural way. She had an opportunity of traveling throughout India as her father was in railways. She came to know the atrocities and exploitation of British rule in India, which left an indelible imprint on her artistic soul, and the imprints of these atrocities and exploitation can be traced easily in her novels. Like Mulkraj Anand and Babani Bhattacharya, she is a humanist novelist believing in the betterment of human lot in general. Kamala Markandaya's literature is characterized by rich sensory imagery, poignant irony, and social realism, frequently utilizing first-person narration to explore themes of poverty, modernity, and East-West conflict. She employs metaphors, similes, and foreshadowing to depict the struggles of rural Indian life and the impact of industrialization. Key literary devices used by Markandaya include imagery and symbolism. She uses vivid imagery to enhance the emotional and atmospheric quality of her work. Irony and tone. Markandaya employs irony, particularly in the contrast between expectations and outcomes, and a reflective, often tragic tone. Narrative technique. She frequently uses first-person narration to provide an intimate perspective, along with techniques like flashbacks and a blend of past and present tenses. Metaphor and simile. Her writing is characterized by the use of metaphors and similes to describe human experiences and the natural world. Characterization. She creates memorable, often symbolic characters to explore themes of human endurance. These techniques allow Markandaya to create a nuanced portrayal of Indian society and the human condition. In the novel Nectarinous Sieve, Kamala Markandaya tells the story of Rukmani, an educated village girl married to a poor tenant farmer, Nathan, in rural India, chronicling their life of hardship, resilience, and tradition as modernization disrupts their world, leading to struggles with poverty, loss, and changing society, all while exploring themes of endurance, love, and hope against adversity. Narrated by Rukmani, in her old age, the novel follows her arranged marriage, her joy in bearing sons, despite infertility struggles with the help of a foreign doctor, Kenny, the family's financial difficulties, the tannery's negative impact, and eventual dispersion, highlighting the tension between traditional life and progress. The key points in this novel are arranged marriage and early life. Rukmani, educated but from a less affluent family, marries the kind tenant farmer Nathan, finding happiness despite their poverty. Children and infertility. After a daughter, Rukmani struggles to have sons, eventually bearing 5, but this strains their resources. The tannery's arrival. A tannery built nearby brings jobs, but also social ills, rising prices, and disrupts village life. Family struggles. Her sons work at the tannery, bringing income, but also trouble, leading to their departure. Loss and resilience. The family faces devastating losses, including crop failure, Ira's barrenness, and Nathan's eventual death. Yet Rukmani endures, finding meaning in life's sweetness amidst suffering. The themes explored in this novel are tradition versus modernization, the clash between old village ways and new industry, poverty and resilience, the constant struggle against financial hardship, hope and endurance, finding joy, nectar in life's difficult moments, a sieve, feminine strength, Rukmani's quiet strength and adaptation. Next, in the novel A Silence of Desire, Kamala Markandeya tells the story of Dandekar, a routine-bound clerk whose ordered life is shattered when his wife, Sarojini, disappears and returns with a suspicious excuse, leading him to suspect infidelity but uncovering a deeper spiritual conflict where Sarojini seeks healing from a Hindu faith healer, Swami, rather than Western medicine, revealing a clash between faith, tradition, and reason versus modernity that threatens their marriage and ultimately forces Dandekar to bridge the gap between their worlds for reconciliation. The key points of the novel are the disruption. Dandekar, a practical, modern-minded government clerk, returns home to find his wife, Sarojini, gone, disrupting their peaceful middle-class life. Growing suspicion. When Sarojini returns, her explanation for her absence seems false, fueling Dandekar's mistrust and leading him to follow her, fearing she is having an affair. The real truth. Instead of finding another man, Dandekar discovers Sarojini is secretly visiting a spiritual healer, a Swami, for an illness which he reviews as superstition. Clash of worlds. The novel explores the tension between Dandekar's scientific, rational worldview and Sarojini's traditional, faith-based one, highlighting a broader cultural divide in post-colonial India. Reconciliation. The crisis forces Dandekar to confront his own rigidity, and he eventually begins to understand Sarojini's need for faith, leading to a tentative reconciliation where both acknowledge their need to meet in the middle, though Sarojini ultimately agrees to medical treatment. The key themes of this novel are faith versus reason, the central conflict between Sarojini's spiritual beliefs and Dandekar's scientific rationalism, communication breakdown, the silence and lack of understanding between husband and wife nearly destroy their marriage, tradition versus modernity. The novel despises the struggle between traditional Indian values and westernized modern perspectives. Marital conflict explores the complexities of marriage, personal identity, and the struggle for emotional connection. In her another novel, Handful of Rice, Kamala Markandeya tells the story of Ravi, a poor village youth who moves to the city of Madras seeking a better life but encounters escalating poverty, moral compromise, and disillusionment, ultimately exploring themes of poverty, tradition versus modernity, and the struggle for survival and dignity amidst urban materialism as he tries to build a life with his wife Nalini, facing hardships that lead to tragedy. The key points of the novel are village life and migration. Ravi, a rebellious but poor peasant's son, leaves his village for the harsh, indifferent city streets seeking fortune. Urban struggles. In the city, Ravi falls into petty crime, eventually becoming an apprentice tailor to Appu, a kind but struggling tailor. Love and family. Ravi falls for Appu's daughter Nalini and joins their crowd, household, striving for a respectable life. Escalating poverty. Appu's death brings more hardship. Ravi faces constant hunger, dwindling customers, and illness, losing his son Raju to fever. Moral decline. Overwhelmed by poverty, Ravi succumbs to temptation, eventually returning to petty crime and a dangerous path, illustrating the degeneration of values. The key themes depicted in this novel are poverty and hunger, the overwhelming force driving characters, actions, and decisions, highlighting the stark realities for the poor. Tradition versus modernity, the clash between rural values and the materialistic machine-driven urban world. Human spirit, the novel explores the struggle to maintain dignity and hope amidst profound suffering. Moral compromise, how economic hardship pushes individuals to abandon their principles. In essence, the novel is a poignant portrayal of rural-urban migration, the brutal impact of poverty on human lives, and the search for meaning and stability in a rapidly changing, often unforgiving society as seen through Ravi's tragic journey. Kamala Markandaya's Nectar in a Sieve, A Handful of Rice, and The Silence of Desire share core themes of poverty, hunger, and the struggles of rural life against modernization, focusing on the stark contrast between tradition and modernity, the endurance of the human spirit, and the challenges of social change, particularly highlighting the deep impact of economic hardship and displacement of individuals and families. In essence, Markandeya uses these narratives to illuminate the universal struggles of the human condition, love, loss, hope, and survival. It explores the dehumanizing effects of extreme hunger, the clash between tradition and modernity, and the resilience of characters facing immense hardship. Even today, we find similar conditions and struggles prevailing in our country, which should be changed by the proper education, employment, and economic systems. So, let's play our role as good citizens for the upliftment of our country. Thank you.
You just heard to a literary talk titled Overarching Themes Across the Novels of Kamala Markandeya. The talk was presented by Assistant Professor of English, Ms.R.KAMALA from Alpha Arts and Science College, Chennai. This program came to you from the studios of Akashvani, Chennai.